I think I get this thing right. Okay. Mm, something. Hey guys, let me just do this real quick. This is going to be a short live. I didn't what you call it? Let me see. The fuck. Okay. All right. I didn't do a stream yard on this because I know um I've been on and off of YouTube all day today. I just want to say this. Okay. This is very, very hard for me to talk about right now. Okay. Um, and I'm just trying to put my words together. It's a lot that went on between Lemon and I. Okay. And I would like to say that in some things I do not I did not see where I went wrong. Okay. I will admit that. There is there is things I was trying to get to know him. I was trying to get I was learning the things that upset him, the things no different than I guess he was learning what type of things upset me and how I react to things when they upset me. I was still also learning him and what things upset him. Um, it's very, very hard to have a online relationship. It's very hard. And although it's hard, I can separate the two at times. I can tune out certain things that people may say to me. I can tune out certain advice. I know the difference in the advice that someone tell me. And at the same time, I know how to follow my heart and what my heart tell me. And I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, Krista, you need to speak up. Krista, you don't speak up to Lemon. You let Lemon do this, you let him do that." Some people feel like that I'm weak, when it come to the situation. People have a lot of different things. People say a lot of different things about it. I can only be me. I can only handle things the way I handle things. And I will say that we were really okay. We were really, really caring for each other. And I still believe that I don't think either one of us was ready for how how it was happening. Like um I don't think either one of us was ready for the like I don't think we was ready for the chemistry to be that thick between us so fast. And I left my live today, this morning, and I was not going to go over and talk to him. And I had not went over and talked to him. And the only thing I wanted from him was like closure. I just wanted closure on it. I just wanted to know because he never answered the questions to me. Like, what did I do? Like, okay, I realized I messed everything up. I messed the whole thing up. So because I messed everything up, I realized at that point it's F my feelings then at that point. Okay. So I realized it was F my feelings at that point. Um and the reason I had wanted to like talk to him was because Lemon had got upset with me over other things. Okay. So I kind of like knew some things, but he hadn't got upset with me over like Millie coming up on his panel and to think that I was trying to be fresh with any of the guests up there and especially in his face. And to me, that's a like a ultimate disrespect. And the only thing I wanted him to know was that I would never ever do that. And I realize some people say that they felt like I was flirting with the guy. Some people say they knew I was not. When I came up there, my intent was not to come up there and flirt with somebody on his panel in his face. That was not my intent. And while I was up there, I did not realize that that's why he was saying what he was saying. And after trying to explain to him, and different ones was saying whatever they were saying, I tried to sit up there a little longer and I left because at that point I felt like I was getting on his nerves. I felt like anything. If somebody has upset you or you're feeling like they've disrespect you, I can only think like I think. So I just figured I'll get out of his face. I'll wait. And then him and I could talk about it later. And then I can explain to him, uh, we could talk it over. But when I talked to him and I told him I wanted to talk to him and that I did not mean to come off like I was flirting with this guy. And then he said, "Well, why did you leave? You left and then you never came back." And I told him, I said, "Well, I left because I felt like I was getting on your nerves. I felt like you were upset. So because you're upset right now, the best thing for me to do is to like give you your space because you still had your audience to entertain. I can only think like I think." Lemon was upset with me doing that. He wanted me, I didn't know that even though that happened, and now that I go back and look at it, and go back to the video, and he was arguing with the guy and he was saying whatever he was saying to the guy. I guess it would have made sense for me to have still been there as, like by his side, like I was letting it be seen that I was there. I shouldn't have left. I should not have I should not have taken it upon myself to think that me leaving and giving him his space, and I'm not crying, y'all. I'm not crying, okay? I'm not crying. That him that me leaving, I shouldn't have did that. I should have just stayed there so that people could see that even in the midst of him talking about what's going on between us, that I would have been right there. So when he was telling the guy, yeah, well, yup, and she waiting on me and she this and that, instead of him just knowing that I am there waiting, and then we gonna discuss this or whatever, I should have been there where y'all could see me, not just down there in the audience. I should have went back up on the panel so that he could see that right there, so that the guy could have seen, yup, she's right there. And that's what pissed him off with me. That's what made him mad with me. Because first I came up there and I was flirting with this guy, whether I knew I was or I wasn't. In his mind, I was. And then on top of that, I should have stayed right there while he was arguing with the guy to prove that, yes, I'm right here by his side. I'm right here with him. And I didn't do those two things. So I was wrong right there. Twice I was wrong in a row. And plus something else that he was mad at me about. So I had been messing up all along. I had been messing everything up. Far as Lemon and I was messing everything up. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse for me to have did that. I shouldn't have did that. I should have just. And then what I did was, once he decided that he was done talking, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have like wanted to talk more about it. I should have just left it alone. I should have just not said nothing else to him. I should have just let him continue to work those three things out that I had already messed up on. I was not doing right as far as the relationship. I wasn't doing right, y'all. I did not do right as far as the relationship. And on top of that, I shouldn't have been showing up in people's chats and stuff. I should have just stayed up in the bushes like many people do. I so I was messing up again. I should have just watched, thumbs up the content creators. I didn't have to jump down inside their chats. I didn't have to do those things. And then knowing that they were then going to ask me, can I come up? Can they talk to me? I should have known that they were going to want to talk about what was going on with me and him. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking that way. Sometimes I don't think clearly about things. I have to admit that. And then each time I'm hitting these people's panels, I was adding more to it. I was adding more to his anger. I was adding more to him getting upset with me. And then on top of that, now I'm saying, why won't you talk to me? Well, he's not talking because I've pissed him off even more. I'm constantly messing stuff up. And then at the same time, I was saying, can we talk? What's wrong? What's going on? So I was doing those things, not him. So I'm just here to acknowledge what it is. What went wrong? And I don't want people to think bad about him. The last thing I want anybody to do is to think bad about him. Like, cuz he is a good person. He's a good person. And so I'm here to acknowledge where I where I went wrong. And everything I was doing, I was just messing up. When I went over to his live and I knew he had already been upset with me about the other stuff that I mentioned earlier. And then I went over to his live and I was still messing up. So I got into an argument over at his live. And then got voted down off his live or whatever. When I seen that it was for 2 hours, and I asked him if it was for 2 hours, I should have just stayed at his, I should have just still stayed there because there I was again leaving. And like he said, why are you leaving every time something happened? And I leave to get out the way. I leave to give him his space. So there I was messing up again. Seeing that I should have known from last time when I left that I seen that that upsetted him when I left last time. What the hell? Why did I do it again? Even though it's a different situation, why keep doing it? So I left and I visited one of the other couple of the other people panels that I'm on that I be out here on. And while there, someone had told me that what was going on, and I had just planned on staying there for the 2 hours and then getting off. And then when I heard, I should have went over to check out his page and see what was going on instead of just listening to somebody telling me. Like he said, you should have came and checked it out for yourself. You shouldn't have never left. I would have seen that after the 15 minutes that it was all over. But instead I left. I ran away again. So it don't deserve to go past that. It don't deserve to go past for us to get to know each other any further. Because I'm not doing right far as the relationship. I'm constantly doing stuff to piss him off. And I don't realize that that's what I'm doing. And I shouldn't be making him upset like that. So I did these things, y'all. I did this. So I just don't want people to think bad about him. So earlier today, instead of me just leaving my life and leaving well enough alone, I took a chance because I hadn't talked to him. And I just wanted to put closure. I wanted him to know I'm not upset with you. I just wanted him to know that, like we could talk it out. I wasn't expecting for us to be screaming and yelling at each other. I didn't want that. But I wanted to hear like what it is that happened with us. What is it? I'm not saying that we had to get back together. I'm not saying that we had to like start all over or anything again. I just wanted to know what happened. Like, what happened? And even though he said take his name or whatever off my thing and all of that stuff, that was the time for me to give him some space and not be trying to demand that he call me, not be trying to demand that he talk to me. That was the time to give him his space. I should have left the name thing alone and just still left it there and just give him that space. So again, I was the one messing up. I was messing up. I'm I was messing up because I'm not figuring out when is the right time to do this? When is the right time to do that? So it got heated between us today. And I was going to leave before it got all the way. But he was saying, "No, see, there you go. And I don't like when you do that. Every time you do that, you want to leave." So I stayed there to hear everything out. And I remember, right, okay, you always leaving. Right. Just let him talk. And that's what I did. I should not have been talking about another guy. It's a lot of mistakes that I made, y'all. It's a lot that I did. I entertained a lot of people that he had a problem with. But again, if I wouldn't have went live, I wouldn't have fell into that. That's what I'm saying. I see what he was telling me. That if you never did these things, then we wouldn't be here. I know some of the things that make him upset. In that 14, 2 weeks, whatever you want to call it, I still knew some of the things that I'm used to doing, which is walking away, giving him his space. I knew that some of that is not how he like it. That's not what it is. And instead of taking control of my emotions at that time, I followed my emotions and I did what my emotions told me to do. So I know why he got mad at me. I know why he got pissed off with me. I already know. So it's not his fault. It's my fault. It's my fault that all this stuff happened. And I get it now. I'm not making this video for any sympathy. I'm not making this video to for anything but just that my intent was never to get with him for people to think bad about him, for people to judge him, or for us to get into it and then, people feel like I don't want to F with Lemon. He's a terrible guy. He's this and that. That was never my intent, y'all. He's not a terrible guy. We were getting to know each other. And I made some mistakes. I made some I made some mistakes, y'all. And I know the mistakes that I made. But some of them, to be honest, I didn't know until tonight or this morning that those were more mistakes that I was making. So again, I was adding to what was already there in this short time. I'm still adding to it. I see that now. I see I see where I went wrong. I see it. I didn't see it before. Before I just seen it as, damn, I'm getting out of his way. I'm giving him his space. I'm, just, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it and then but everybody don't handle things that way. I see that. I also see that if I really care, I would have thought about these things. Mind you, when I'm saying all of this, I'm talking about him and I. I'm not talking about if I was in a relationship with somebody else here. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm not talking about nobody and whether they care what age group, how old I am versus how old he is. I'm talking about me and him. I'm talking about me and him. I was okay with his age. He was okay with my age. Where that's a problem for some of y'all, that was not a problem for him and me. And we're the two people that's involved here. Not this person, that person, that person, that person. It's us. So I'm not thinking about nothing that nobody else is. I'm not thinking about the little problems that some of you may have with him and I. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about where him and I was okay with what was going on with us. And what was going on with us at his age and my age, this is the other stuff that messed it up. This is what I did to sabotage this relationship that him and I was in. It was not a play. It was not a play. He had feelings for me. I had feelings for him. I still have feelings for him. I do. And it's not for someone said, oh, for this reason, that reason. That has nothing to do with it. The stuff that some of you guys may think, that has nothing to do with it. I know the what him and I talked about. I know the times that he said, Christy, you know what's up. Yeah, I do. I do. I do know what was going on between him and I. Because he talked to me and he told me I messed it up. I didn't do right. Like he said, I got to stop changing with my every thought, with my every emotion. I got to learn how to just stick that through until it's time for him to come and address it with me. Rather than saying, okay, he hasn't addressed it, that's long enough. Now let me just do what I feel is the next best thing. I did that. When you're on the outside of something looking in, you guys can say whatever you want to say. Y'all can talk however y'all want to talk. You can sit there and say, I don't care, it's this, it's that. No. You don't know because you're not the two people that's involved here. It was us. You can give your opinion, but don't get upset when your opinion is not used in the way that you think it's going to be used. Because that's your opinion. You guys only know what we share with y'all, what's going on. Some stuff is too personal. You don't need to know. It's none of your business. And even some of the stuff that was shared, even that was none of your business. But it was shared with you. And it can't be taken back. But still, in all, it was between him and I. So I'm not trying to be nasty when I'm saying your opinion don't count, your opinion don't matter. But when you get so invested in something that you don't even know all the ins and outs about, no, I don't care what you're saying. Because you're looking at it as if Lemon's dating you. You're looking at it as if Krista's dating you. So if Lemon was dating you, you have a right to look at it and do according to what you're doing. Because that's between you and Lemon. No different than if you was dating me. You have that right to look at it from your opinion. Because that's between me and you. But this was between Lemon and I. This was us. This was me and him. The two people that was okay with the age difference. The two people that was okay with the distance from where we live from each other. The two people that's okay with both of us being YouTube content creators. This is us. It's not you. And I'm not saying that because it's not you that you can't give your opinion. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying be quiet about what's going on with us. I'm not saying that at all, people. I'm not. I'm just saying you got to realize me and Lemon, we know how old we are. He wasn't hiding his age from me. I wasn't hiding my age from him. I wasn't hiding from where I live versus where he lived. We didn't hide those things from each other. We were cool with that. We were cool with that. We were. The two people that's involved. We were cool with that. We were cool with letting this go as fast or as slow as it's going. We were cool with that. Not you. And you and you and you and you. If you're not cool with it, perhaps that's why you're doing what you're doing. Or you're dating the person you're dating. Because you don't want to date somebody with that distance. You don't want to date someone that much older than you or that much younger than you. See the difference? But I'm not you. He's not you. You are you. That's why you're not dating someone younger. That's why you're not dating someone older. That's why you're not dating someone with that distance. Okay? Because you don't do that. That's not comfortable for you. Because you don't see you forming a real relationship, getting emotionally attached to somebody that's that much older or that much younger than you, or that distance between where y'all live. You don't see yourself doing that. So you're doing the next best thing for you, which is date somebody closer to you, date somebody closer to your age. And that's okay. But Lemon and I, we were okay with that. We were okay with it. The two people involved was okay with that. And I do know everybody didn't feel this way. I know majority of people was not rooting for us. I know that. He knows that. We ain't crazy. You think we don't see these things? We did. We know that. You think we don't know that? You think we haven't acknowledged that to each other? We see that. Do you think we didn't see that people said it was a play? You think we ain't talk about that? We're not idiots. We're two intelligent people. We seen it. And just like there's people who was against it, there was people that was rooting for it. There was people who saying, yes, that can be a great thing. Offering good words of advice, offering nothing, sending nothing but positivity that way, spewing nothing but positivity out in the air on his behalf, my behalf. Nothing but positive. Don't think we didn't see y'all too, because we did. It didn't go unnoticed. We seen it. And this stuff about me using him to grow my channel, that is some of the tiredest, lamest stuff y'all could say. Because while all of this other stuff was going on, I wasn't on my channel doing nothing. But that still wasn't enough for y'all to see that obviously this lady ain't trying to just grow her channel off of this stuff. That don't mean nothing to me. I thank God for the YouTube check that come in. I do. I thank God for it. It's a blessing. It is. But I'm good over here financially. I don't worry about my bills not being paid month to month. I don't worry that if I get the taste for something, I can't just go and get it. I don't worry that if I want to get up and go take a trip, I can get up and go and do that. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm good financially. I've been good for a very long time. I'm used to being good. I'm used to being good financially. I prepared myself in life to be good financially throughout my life. I'm good. The YouTube that come in, that's a little something extra that I put in a bank just to collect some damn interest. Just in case, you never know what the hell I could use it for. But I'm good. I don't have to get a check every month from YouTube, and that if I don't, my bills ain't gonna be paid. I don't know how I'm gonna live from day to day, how I'm gonna put gas in my car. If it break down or something, am I gonna be able to get it fixed? I'm good financially. So to say that I'm using that for this reason and that reason, no. Maybe there is people out here who has and who would, That's not me. I don't have to use lemon for something like that. I can't help the fact that what went on between us was displayed publicly. So, of course, people want to see what happened with me. They want to know how I feel. Hell, if it was you in your relationship and it was out here in the open and that very same act went on, they would want to know how you or your partner felt too. For different reasons, they want to know. Some because they want to know, hey, do you think any different about this nigga or this lady? Some, is she really that dumb? Is she really? Some for commentary, some for whatever the reason. There's people who want to know, how did you feel, Krista? That was a big act that went on. So I came and told it. I came and told how I felt. And like anybody else out here, you get trolled, you get trolled. There was a troll running amongst us who went and told Lemon one thing. Lemon trusted it. But again, that's where I went wrong. Because even though they said this and that, and he said this and that, I should have shut my life down right then. I should have just shut my life down. Because again, I should know that this is the stuff that upset him. And then, like he said, just waited to hear back from him. I shouldn't have kept just going with my life. Just shut it down. But I kept going. I kept feeding into the bullcrap to the point it got so big that now it was like, it can't come back from that. So now I'm thinking, well, we just talk about it. And perhaps it won't happen again. But no, it's too much going on that in his mind that no, this stuff is keep happening. I was not thinking about it that way. So here we are. Here we are. I'm acknowledging my part. I did this. Please don't think bad about him. Lemon is not a bad person. He said through this, he's getting a lot of bad feedback from everybody because of this stuff. I don't want that for him. That was never my intent to sabotage his name, to make his brand, to make people look at him some other kind of way or anything. That was never my intent. I'm not evil. I'm not malicious. I'm not that kind of person. Yes, I loved him. Yes, I still love him. Yes, I care about him. I still care about him. It don't just go away just like that. Yes, I said I'm talking to somebody else. That's another thing that pissed him the fuck off. Again, that's something I should have waited on. That person, of course, they watched everything that went on. And they let me know they're gonna back away. It's not. Mm-mm. And I get it. And I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did. I thought when Lemon said he was done, that he was done. I don't know that side of him. I don't know the side of him that because he say he done, that don't mean, it just mean right now for the shit I'm doing that he's done. I learned that. I thought when he was saying everything he was saying that he was like, move on, go ahead, whatever. I didn't know that this was stuff that I didn't know. I'm learning. I'm learning him. I'm learning what pisses him off. I'm learning what makes him upset. I know a lot of the things online that make him upset. I know that. I know that Lemon. I know that one. The relationship one is different. And I'm learning that one. I made a lot of mistakes. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lemon. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to, never meant to upset you. Never meant to do any of those things. I do still love you. I do still care about you. And that's what I wanted to come on here and tell you guys. I did not mean for things to get like they were yesterday. I didn't mean to be hollering and yelling and screaming on your platform. I just think that I talk about the things that upset you. I know the things that upset you. And the things that upset me is I realize we put our relationship out here. But there is people that I'm close to here on the internet as well. There is people who support me far as YouTube as well. But they don't, when you and I are talking, where we're in the middle of settling whatever it is that we're settling and talking about, they don't hit platforms and come up there and tell their opinion in the middle of us talking. When you say, well, you got all these people talking to you and telling you this. I'm only doing what you do. I'm only getting some advice like you get some advice. The difference is the people who feel like they're coming up on your platform to talk to you, they're very, very disrespectful when they talk to me. They're talking to me like I'm their child. I'm not their child. You don't talk to another adult like that. Even if you want to offer some advice, you have to watch your tone. You don't talk to me that way. You take it down a few notches. Don't be offensive in the words that you use. Whisper a little prayer to yourself first before you start talking and say, Lord, give me the right thing to say. Since these two people are allowing me to voice my opinion about their relationship, something that the both of them are okay with being in. See, that's where you're crossing the line. Because once you are given the okay, you take it real personal. And you start inserting yourself in the Lemon side or the Krista side of things. And then you just wiggle your way on in there just like that. Now you're being disrespectful. Because now you're going back to the part of how you feel, how you wouldn't date somebody that much older or that much younger. You're making it personal. See, a good person that give advice, unless there's some type of counselor, like drug abuse counselor or alcoholic, anonymous people and stuff like that, you can't take it personal. You have to remove yourself and just put yourself in that situation of two people that is okay with the age difference as well as the distance between us. And you go from there with your words. You can't talk to me when you got already in your mind, I would never date somebody this age. I would never date somebody this far away. And you got a couple of key-hees and tee-hees and ha-has in there too. That's the time for you to sit this one out. Until you get up out of silly mode, sit this one out. Because we're talking some real business here. We're talking about two people's feelings here. Whether one is saying this right now and one is saying that right now. We're talking about two people's feelings. That although I might tell you I'm good, he said to move the fuck on. So I'm good. That's right. I sure will. You know, but I knew in my heart I wasn't good. I was not good. I was better once I heard him. And then when he said, Envy told her to call me, I didn't know that Envy telling me to call you right then. I didn't know that you would then answer your phone. I was just saying he ain't been answering all day. He not gonna answer. I didn't know that that was part of what you were saying. Would I go ahead and call? I didn't know. I found that out tonight. Again, I messed up. And again, that don't make him a bad person. I love y'all. I thank y'all for y'all support. I'm not going to hold y'all no longer. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for listening to me. I had to get it out. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it where him and I could talk. I didn't care if it was out in the open. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's out in the open. I know what come with it being out in the open. People gonna say, "See, it's a play. It's a this and that." I don't care that you think it's that. I can't stop you from thinking how you want to think. I can't stop you from feeling how you want to feel. But no, people is real. I love him. I care a lot about him. I just wanted to I wanted us to talk. I wanted to get closure if it was closure to be gotten. That's what I wanted. I can't stop other people from interfering and giving their opinion and coming up on platforms and talking about what's going on with us and saying, oh, well, you're too old for this and he's too young for this. He's too childish and you're just too old for it. And this and that and all these other things that they say. So, you know what I do respectfully? I just say, okay. I let it go in one ear and go even faster out the other one. Because I know how I feel. Again, I'm sorry for the things that I did wrong. As far as us furthering to get to know each other, I'm sorry about those things. I'm sorry about the stuff that went on here on YouTube that you have shared with me that upsetted you. I would hope that people would just treat you like they treat you. I thank y'all for coming out and listening to this. Thank you for all the thumbs up. This is not a play, y'all. I don't know how much I can tell y'all that. How many times I can say that to y'all. It's not a play. It's true. And I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm going to take the rest of the day off, y'all. I'm going to get to my quiet place and just sit back and relax and think about a few things. So I'll see y'all on tomorrow. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good evening, a good rest of y'all day. Do something fun, productive. Pour into them that pour into you. Pray for them. Pray for everybody so that everybody is prayed for. Welcome everybody to the Potluck Lounge. Y'all have a good one. Bye, y'all.